Hello my friends, welcome back to our channel. So for this video tutorial, we will be having our discussion regarding the how to convert our data types. Okay, so for this tutorial, we will be using our learnings based on our previous tutorial regarding string functions, printing functions, different data types, concatenation, etc. etc. Okay, so without further ado, let's start our discussion in converting data types. Okay, so with regards to converting data types, my friends, when dealing with users' inputs, don't forget that it is always considered as a string whether the user is entering a number, just like what I have said also on our previous video tutorial. So don't forget, it is always considered as string, the user's inputs. Now, we have actually here, so if it is considered a string, for example, the user has input of 3 and second input of 5. If we wanted to print 3 plus 5, it will be an error because 3 and 5 is considered as a string and not as integer nor float. Therefore, we need to convert all those data types first. So for the data type conversion function, we have here the integer. If we are converting into integer, the syntax must be int and our x. So x here stands for our data that we need to convert to integer, and for the float, that is float, open and close parenthesis, x, then string str, then x. Okay, so let's try to convert, and let's go now to our Jupyter notebook. Okay, so first let's have our title. Title is Converting Data Types. Mark down and run this. Okay, so since based on our PowerPoint presentation a while ago, we should now convert our data type coming from the user input. So let's ask some data first from our user. So for example, let's have our variable age. Then let's ask the user, how old are you? Okay, so if we will going to run this, for example, we have here an answer of 20, then nothing happens. But for the converting data types, we will consider our age as the variable to be converted, because actually if we will try to check what type of data is our age, it will give us, for example, 20, it will give us a result of, sorry, this must be small letter, it will give us a result of string. You see this, my friends? So since this is a string, even this is 20, this is considered a string. Therefore, we will need to convert this to integer. Okay, so let's convert this first. Int, then age, for it to be able to be converted into string. Okay, so let's try it now. Run, input 20, and we have now 20 as our output, and this is actually now an integer. So if you don't believe me, let's check. Age, rather int age plus 2. So here we have here the input of age, which is a string 20, and it is converted into integer. Then we will have now plus 2. So the output must be 22. Okay, so meaning the Python now knows that the age which is equivalent to 20, is now an integer. Because if we don't have this, let's try to delete this. You will see what will happen. Then run. It will now be an error. It says that can only concatenate string to string, not string to integer, or integer to string, vice versa. Okay, so I hope you get it. That's how we convert a string into a integer. Okay, so for the float, same goes for the float. This one, the second conversion function. Let's convert this into float. Then age plus 2. So the answer must be 22.0. So let's run this. Okay, so 22.0. 0.0 stands for the float. So that actually means that the data now is actually a float. Okay, so that's how we convert data type. So again, we don't need to convert string to string. That's already given. So that's how it is, my friends. Integer, float, and string. Okay, so for our task now, we should create a simple code that will also convert US dollar to Philippine peso. And for that code, we should ask first an input from the user on what is the current USD PHP exchange rate, or the US dollar Philippine peso exchange rate. And of course, after asking that, we should ask another input from the user on how much dollars should be converted into Philippine peso. And lastly, compute for the value in Philippine peso, and of course, we should print the converted Philippine peso value for the user to see what is the conversion rate, okay? Or what is the final conversion value. Okay, so first of all, we should ask an input from the user on what is the current USD PHP exchange rate. Okay, so for us to be accurate, let's use Mr. Google for the current USD PHP exchange rate. So as of today is March 16, 2021. Exchange rate is 48.54. Okay, so anyway, we will use that later. So we'll have this current, first variable, current USD PHP exchange rate. So input, we will be needing an input from the user. What is the current USD PHP exchange rate? Okay, let's try it if it's working. Okay, so it's working. So let's have 48.54. Okay, so it's working. Then next, based on our task, ask another input on how much dollars should be converted into Philippine peso. So for example, we need to convert $200, for example. So that will be our next variable, amount to be converted. So let's have the question for the user. How much do you want to convert? Okay, so how much do you want to convert? That is the amount to be converted. Now, next, compute for the value in PHP. Okay, so value in PHP, or let's have here PHP value. So for the value in PHP, it is actually easy, my friends. We should multiply amount to be converted, multiply to the current USD PHP exchange rate. But the thing here is that since this is an input, and this input is of course came from our user, again it will be interpreted by the Python as a string data type. So for us to be able to have our simple multiplication operation, we should convert this first into an integer. Or for us to be able to be more exact, we should convert this into float. So meaning float, then our current USD PHP exchange rate. Let's copy and paste this one. Multiplied to our amount to be converted, and same with this one, this should be a float first. And paste. Okay. Then, for our printing, so let's print here. Print the converted PHP value. Okay, so let's have here, what will I say on our print? Let's have here your space. Let's have space. Then let's have concatenation. Your USD, how much? So current amount to be converted. So let's have here your amount to be converted. Since this is a string, no need to convert into other data type. Your amount to be converted plus, so this is a number, of course, plus USD for the currency. So your, for example, your 200 USD is equivalent to concatenation again, then PHP value. So let's have here PHP value. Our PHP value, guys, since this is float multiplied to float, of course, the PHP value will be in a data form of float. And we can concatenate a float. Therefore, we should convert this into string. This is now when will we use our third conversion function, which is string. We don't use it a while ago, actually. So let's have here string. Your PHP value. Okay. Then plus, so your 200 USD is equivalent to number, amount, PHP value plus pesos. So let's have here space first, spaced again, pesos. Okay. So let's try. Let's see if we are correct or we have something wrong in our code. So let's run this, guys. So it's not running. Let's stop this first. Stop. Then run again. Okay. So what is the current USD PHP exchange rate? It says here that is 48.54. In actual programming, guys, this current USD exchange rate will be automatic, not actually a data from our user. So we were just doing it for the purpose of the example using our data conversion. Okay, so I hope you understand it. So we'll enter. Then how much do you want to convert? So let's have 200. By the way, this must be in USD. So how much you wanted to convert to peso? So to peso. So meaning our what we call this, our user must input an amount in US dollar. So let's run it again. 48.54. Then 200. How much do you want to convert in peso? 200 USD, that is automatic. That is considered already. Then, okay, so as you can see, it automatically prints. So your 200 US dollar is equivalent to 9,708.0 because it is a float converted into string pesos. Okay, so that's it. That's basically how it goes, my friends. That's basic conversion of data types, of course, with other functions that we have tackled before, like printing, like the input function, like the data types, and the conversion, of course. So I think that's it for now. Thank you, my friends, for having a time for this tutorial. And that's basically how we can convert data types into another data type. Okay, so if you learn from this video, don't forget to hit that like button, of course, and share our video to your friends who are currently also studying Python programming. Okay, so this is the Engineer Trader, your partner from learning to earning, always saying, keep safe and may your trades be great. Bye-bye.